this is Dorothy with Scrapbooking, and this is the third of the 3 layouts, scrapbook layouts from Dreammaker. And this was a National Scrapbooking Month special. There's some of the products are still left to take advantage of this absolutely really beautiful paper. So this is, like I said, layout 3, and the stamping along the black stamping along the top and bottom is with one of the stamps, and the Always is also one of the stamps that comes with the scrapbooking set. So here we go with our instructions. And I am going to draw some lines that are 2 inches from the top and 2 inches from the bottom on the white. So I'm going to go ahead and put the papers in place. They're cut, let's see, there's 1/4 of an inch going around 3 sides of it, and the white is going to go right up to the very edge of the black. Always changing Tombow. Anyway, the white is going to go right up to the edge of the black for the middle of the paper. So I'm just leaving 1/4 of an inch of the black showing at the top and bottom. Hopefully I can eyeball that pretty accurately. And then, of course, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side because we want those to match. So if it's off a tad, we want it to be off the same tad. So there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my close to my heart ruler and do a 2-inch line very lightly with a pencil. So I'm putting it to the edge of the white, not the black, the white. And same thing on this page. So we're going to go just a very light line. And that gives me a go-by to run my stamp. So there we go. So we'll just start off with one of these. And that's the stamp that we're going to use. We actually got a lot of use out of that strange looking little stamp. So when you do it on this layout, it kind of looks like a cityscape with skyscrapers going up and down. So it's kind of an interesting stamp, like I said. So I'm going to go ahead and get I needed my close to my heart cutting mat that has the squishy side, so I don't have to worry about moving the little piece of foam. I can just go straight across. So I've got this part of the stamp going down, and then I'm just going to carry it over, trying to keep it, somewhat generally in the same line as the one before it. And I'm just going to put this up so I can mask off and not get on the black. Not that it would show up very much, but so there we go. So part of this is going to get covered up, so you don't have to worry about, once again, being perfect. And you can overlap this stamp a little bit. I just want to fill in that little gap there. So I'm just using that little scrap mat paper to catch the overflow ink. I don't want it to get on the black paper, and I don't really want it to get on my pad either. So here we go, just running right along. And I used my Intense black ink. That's my favorite black ink, favorite of all time for sure. It just works beautifully, and it's a nice dark black, and it dries very, very quickly. So here are all my pieces. For the black is for the background of the pictures, and these are cut, but it's kind of, I will tell you right now, it's kind of weird because they don't exactly go along with, they don't perfectly line up. So you get some overlap, like there's an overlap. And so I'm going to be putting some under and some over on these. So I don't really, and if you wanted to, if you didn't want to have all the different colors, you could just make a piece that is Oh, let me see. What are those? Those are, they're probably 4x4. So you might be able to make an 8 or 7.5 by 12 by 11.5 piece of one color to go all the way across if you didn't want to mess with a whole bunch of different colors. So you could actually do that pretty easily, and that would eliminate a whole bunch of pieces for you. But I think the idea was all of these marbled cardstocks are so lovely that you want to use all the colors. And then we put some black in there. So because the black on this, on all three of the layouts, that's black is the accent piece to really make all the other colors just show up nicely. So I'm just kind of figuring out, okay, what am I missing here? I'm just kind of doing a dry placement, putting things in place to kind of see where they go and make sure I've got the right pieces here and there. So I was looking for my 3x3s, and I found them and put them in place, so they went poof. So I'm going to go ahead, and those black pieces are actually cut at 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. So it's just, you know, barely a 1/16 of an inch showing around the white placeholder, photo placeholder. Just a really thin line. So, geez, I love these colors. The Glacier, you know, is just such a beautiful color. And of course, on the back side of those cardstocks, it's just the plain color. So now that's a 4x4. And I am going to put this right up to the edge of the white and then overlap the one piece. So kind of want more of the color to show. So a little bit of the picture is going to get overlapped. So it, like I said, it's a little weird, you know, unless I'm the one who really messed up and cut things the wrong size. There's always that possibility. I didn't even take that into account while I was putting these down. I just automatically assumed it was them and not me. Ah! Oh my goodness, that's sad. Okay, so I'm just gonna, overlapping is gonna be my friend here, and I'm not gonna even worry about it. So there we go. And there's our lagoon marble. Once again, it's getting right to the edge of the white. So I'm going to go ahead. Now, it's funny that they didn't color these flowers at all. So we colored all the other flowers. These are just going to stay white, and that's totally fine. And so I am popping these up with a little bit of foam tape and a little bit of foam dots, and they're just getting snugged under each other. And I think with all the color and all the busyness, you know, white flowers are just fine. So now this is going to be the journaling box. And so I picked out the wrong phrase. I had the wrong phrase. It's not in my heart. It's something or other. What is it? Living the moment, living in the moment. There we go. So that's the title of our little journaling box. And I'm going to use the stencils and try to do some light stenciling to be a background for the journaling. And so I did the blotting technique, and the ink comes out a little bit darker when you do that. So what I would suggest is to do, you know, more of a wipe it back and forth, and you get a little bit more even color, and it actually comes out a little bit lighter. So these are a little splotchy, but you know, that's okay. And then we're going to do dots, and we're doing, see, I'm kind of just kind of washing over the dots there. And so we're just making our own little background paper. And it says to make the words light. Now, it could be that this was supposed to go on the other journaling piece that's on the next page. I didn't think about that. But that's okay. I mean, we can use it on this. And I use the other words actually on the other page. And so I am going to start at I'm just making sure that I put the title on correctly, the Living in the Moment. And so I'm going 3/8 of an inch down from the title, and then that's 3 lines, so 3/8 of an inch is going to be the space in between each of the lines. And that gives you enough space to, not have teensy writing. So it's very easy to make your own journaling card. And it's kind of neat because you can make them match the page that you're making. So there we go. There's my journaling card. And then I will tell you that on the instructions, I was looking for a dark square with a black heart. And actually, photographically and copy-wise, when you're photographing the gold, shiny gold, it kind of comes out looking black. So be aware that, sometimes you might think it's supposed to be black and actually it's gold. So that caught me a number of times throughout this. Because I was looking for the wrong thing, like I was looking for a black butterfly. Well, it was actually a gold butterfly that was on the sticker sheet. So it caught me a few times. And these stickers are, I'm popping them up with some foam, double stick foam. And you could, I didn't, but you probably should run the, what's the name of that thing? That little pouch, the anti-static pouch, to just kind of get the powder on the stickum so you won't stick. So I am going to pop that flower up with a couple of little foam dots. And I use those little bursts, and I'm going to pop one of the really big one up and then put the other ones down with some glue. Got a little bit too much, so I'm sharing that. And another little burst goes up there. They really add to accentuate things. We didn't use that flower, that big rose. I'm going to have to figure out something to do with that rose or put it on one of the other sheets. It's really beautiful. Okay, I was looking for a black butterfly. That's the black butterfly I was looking for. And it was gold. So, and then we have Best Day. Perfect. And I mean, it's such an unusual layout, but I really like, I like all 3 of the layouts. I think they've did a beautiful job designing them. So I'm just going to go ahead. Now that's going to be another, it's not really a journaling card. I called it a journaling card, but actually it's just kind of a card with design on it. So that's going to get done a little bit. So I'm just matching to make sure that the bottom is at the same level as the one on the left and the one on the right. Put my little 3x3 photo in. And I was missing a black photo mount for the lagoon. But I cut one, but I cut it 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and you'll see the difference. That's why I know the others were cut at 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. So I've got my glacier and my ballerina down there. And then our 3x3 goes in place. And there's our 4x4. So that is getting tucked under. And I pulled the black out, because now there's just a little bit of space in between that's not the lagoon, that's the glacier. Now this is going to go, the circle is going to go on the ballerina, and this is just, we have one of the white flowers, and I thought it was this flower, but it's not. It is going, that doesn't go there. I find down here that there's a cluster that has all the colors of the flowers that they put there. So it's like, oh, okay, so it's a cluster instead of single flowers. So it's such a pretty cluster too. It's beautiful. So we've got some more bursts going there, and then we've got some little black enamel dots that are going to go in place. You can either do it with the, what is that, the piercing tool, or if you saw, I kind of held the dot in place and then pulled the carrier sheet of the enamel dots out. So that's also a way of making sure that you're getting your dot where you want it to be. So I'm going to use, I'm making kind of a background for this. Now this is when I just kind of go over the stencil and see how much softer it comes out. So I think that's a better technique. It's softer looking. It doesn't, it doesn't have a blotchy look, and it doesn't come out quite such a strong color. So I'm going to go ahead and do put some of these words down, but I'm doing second generation so that the lagoon doesn't stand out so much. I could just have put all those small words together, but that would have been a lot on there. So I'm going for the Sundance again and adding some dots. So this is going to be similar to the other page. And see how it just makes that piece of paper look so much more interesting than just plain white. And then we put that butterfly in place, and then some of the single flowers here that are kind of watercolored. And then a couple of the flowers that I cut out. So they get tucked here and there. And then I kind of went nuts, put too many of those in place. And then it looked too much like a face, so I'm trying to make it look less like a face. It's best to kind of start over then, and just kind of put them so that you don't have a face staring at you. And I'm putting some more of the bursts in place. Oh, sometimes I think I'm nuts. Okay, and we've got a gold burst that's going there, and a black burst, and then there's this, they had something else down there, belief or something. So I'm putting loving life, but this is something I forgot to do. So here's the title, always. So I'm going to go, I don't have a piece of cardstock here. So I am going to go ink that in intense black and cut it out. And so there it is, cut out. Trying to get my thing together here. So I'm just going to go ahead and you see how I cut it out? So I let it be attached, but cut most of the letters out. So I'm just going to line it up down there and putting loving life down below. And another, what I thought was a black butterfly, but it's a gold butterfly. Look at how cool that is. Is that not like, that's really, it's unusual. It's just really unusual, but I really like doing it. I love all of the stenciling and stuff that we did here, and lining up the ink going across, and there's my 3x3, and see how I could have cut 1/8 of an inch off all around, but that's okay. That might eventually bug me, so I've got to do something, but that's all right. So I can always cut a photo that's 3 1/8 by 3 1/8, and that'll take care of that problem. I'm trying to figure out how to get this centered. But there we go. I hope you like this. I enjoyed doing it. I have to say, I really enjoyed doing all 3 of these layouts. This one was, I think, the most unusual, and I love the way it looks, so I can't wait to put pictures on this. So, let me know if you have any questions, and you need to hurry up and get this paper if you like it. I mean, we're running out of it. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Smith. Thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and learn along with me. Thanks. Bye-bye.